take two, three, whatever. Got interrupted by my mom, and that was super awkward. I don't think I've ever had that happen before. Once have I ever been interrupted during this? So this video is sponsored by Liquid Death. I just died and I was reborn because Liquid Death is the way. Moving on, Shell 23 is coming out. Who do you think? What rating do you think Moritz Seider's gonna get? Read Twitter. There's mixed reviews. Some people are guessing 87, 88, 89, as high as 100, respectively. 89, 90, 91 for Charlie McAvoy. They're kind of similar. Bigger defenseman. Young, can play on the offensive side, power play, all that good stuff. So that's coming out soon. Shout out to Momo. What we got next? Okay, Marco Casper. There was an Elite Prospects article, as usual, blocked by paywall. For the wealthy of us, Ice Hockey GIFs, apparently. He read it, and Marco Casper was ranked 28th on that list. He's probably behind Slafkovsky, Evanson, Matty Beniers, Shane Wright, Simon Nemec, David Juracek. You name the player, he's probably above Marco Casper, if you can name him. So what they called him was an inside-driven attacker with skating, pace, handling skill. I mean, he's got the ability to manipulate the puck while his feet are moving. When he's not bringing pucks to the middle, he's tormenting the opposition with non-stop pressure and in-your-face style play. Kind of reminds me of Nazem Kadri and that guy that is on the Oilers. I can never remember his name. Okay, Sebastian Cossa. Is he going to play in the WHL or the AHL this year? He's at the Prospects tournament. We'll get to him in a second and who the other goalies are, but he's got red pads on. That tells me that you don't wear red pads unless you're trying to break him in. So it tells me that he belongs in the AHL where he'll develop more. Trial by fire. He plays on a sick WHL team in Edmonton for the Oil Kings. They got Jake Neighbors, Dylan Cousins, and they won the Prince of Wales Trophy. I'm guessing that's what it's called. They say he didn't face enough quality of competition because the team was so good, and maybe that kind of affected his development. Who knows? We'll see what happens with him. So the Red Wings Prospect Tournament starting today. Actually, it was just practice today. Oh, no, apparently there are games. Red Wings aren't playing tonight, though. So it's from the 15th to the 20th. Red Wings play their first game Friday at 3 o'clock versus Columbus. They play their second game Saturday at 6 versus Detroit. And this is a round-robin series, so you play teams in the first. I forget how round robins work. You play teams in the first round. Whoever gets the most points moves on. So Prospects Tournament returns to Traverse City for the 23rd season. Michael Jordan season. That's cool. 5-team field, including the Blue Jackets, Stars, Blues, and Maple Leafs for 5 straight days of round robin action. That's going to be exciting. So notable players that are there are Elmer Soderblom. If you click this link, which you can't, I'll post it in the description. He had a pretty sweet dangle on a breakout, went between the legs, and tried to do the Forsberg. The guy is so big. I'm so curious to see what he's going to look like. God, I didn't even go for a run. I'm out of breath. I got to breathe. So he's wearing number 85, apparently, because his usual number 25 was not available, and 85 was the only jersey that fit him. The guy's 6'8", 250, allegedly. There's no way he's actually 250. I'm going to guess 240 maximum, maybe 239. I don't even think LeBron James is 240. And apparently he plays the guitar. With big hands like those, he's probably can hit a bunch of notes at the same time. I'm not musically inclined, so I'm going to stop talking about music. So forward lines. A lot of this is per Max Boltman, so shout out to that athletic guy. Soderblom, Lombardi, Hanas, first line. As we saw Lombardi in that developmental camp, he scored a hat trick in one of the games. I think one of them was lacrosse style. Hannes is another player. I think he played in the USHL this year. For the Portland Winterhawks, and he's pretty good at making moves like that too. Chutayev, who is from Russia, he had a pretty sick Prospects Tournament last year. I think he had like 2 goals and 1 assist in one of the games. He's on the second line with Lim Parlance and Ivan Jurganov. Third line, Piercy, Warrod, Zito, Pasquale, sick name, and then fourth line, Matthew, Ansel, and Martin. I don't know what the defense lines are. I just know that it's going to be Simon Edmonton, Albert Johansson, Donovan Sabrango, Emil Vero, Seth Barton, Plandowski, and Mathurin. It's safe to bet that Edmonton's going to be playing on the top line next to Sabrango. And on the second line is, I want to guess, Johansson and Vero. And then third line, fill in the blank. I don't know if I got those hands right. Who's left-handed or right-handed shot? Okay, so goalies, like I mentioned, Sebastian Cossa went 16th overall. I think Jan Bednar drafted in the same year, I believe. Czech goaltender, played pretty well in the World Juniors recently. And then they invited Andrew Oak of the Saginaw Spirits, I think, in the OHL. He's what they call an FA invite. He's basically the person that you bring in so that you don't have to put out the shooter tuner in case one of the goalies gets injured. I was just joking. I'm sure you're really good if you made it to that level. So here's what the power play is looking like. PP1. Excited for this. Simon Evanson, who, by the way, is wearing number 3 instead of his usual number 7, which is a sick number. Amadeus Lombardi. Just amazing names. Some dude named Warrod Cross Hannes, another sick name. And Elmer Soderblom, the Swedish mountain. Second PP unit is Johansson, Ivan Jurganov, Pascual Zito, Limpar Lance, and Piersig. I like Johansson a lot. He's 6 foot. He's very fleet of foot. He kind of reminds me of Quinn Hughes on his feet, or maybe Jamie Drysdale. Who knows what his ceiling is? He'll be playing in the HL to start the season. Red Wings training camp. Okay, so let me read this real quick for those of you who are just audio. 2020, 22, 23, Red Wings hit the ice for the first time for training camp. This is after the Prospects tournament, obviously, on Thursday, September 22nd. So we're going to have a next couple weeks of hockey, and preseason starts October 1st. So get ready, guys. Lots of content. Probably just once a week. And continue daily through Monday, September 26th. Red Wings players, prospects, and tryouts will be divided into teams that will practice and scrimmage throughout the camp. Oh my God, I just ate a pound of steak. That was so good. I cooked it, not a big deal. Including the annual red and white game on Sunday, September 25th, day after my birthday. Following the red and white game, the team will remain in Traverse City. So a lot of time spent in Traverse City. On Monday, it's a luxury. A lot of these teams are traveling. September 26th, prior to breaking camp for Detroit to begin their preseason schedule, a full camp roster and the complete training camp schedule will be announced at a later date. Moving on, Bally Sports announced that they will be airing 69 Red Wings games this season. 58 of them will be on Bally Sports Detroit regular, 11 on Bally Sports Detroit extra. If I had to guess, that means there is some amount of coverage post-game. All right. So I did a little research on Bally Sports. I thought I was going to get to this after. Apparently not. The 2019 study in the American Political Science Review found that the stations bought by Sinclair, the conglomerate that owns Bally Sports, it's called the Sinclair Broadcast Group. We'll get to that. That's why I didn't want to read this first. Reduce coverage of local politics. Increase national coverage and move the ideological tone of coverage in a conservative direction relative to other stations operating in the same market. That is nice. Politics aside, I loved the coverage of Bally Sports last year. The only thing I didn't like is the ticker at the bottom of the screen, and this is funny. This last part I'll read about this. The company has been criticized by journalists and media analysts for requiring its stations to broadcast packaged video segments and its news anchors to read prepared scripts that contain pro-Trump editorial content, including warnings about purported fake news in mainstream media, while Trump has tweeted support for watching Sinclair over CNN and NBC. So that was funny. I read that on Wikipedia. A little bit more history. Owned by Sinclair Broadcast Group, which also owns Fox, or affiliated with Fox, ABC, CBS, NBC, My Network TV, the CW, Telemundo, and whatever this one is. Honestly, not familiar. It was founded by Julian Sinclair Smith, an electrical engineer who initially called it, this is spelled wrong, Chesapeake Engineering Placement Service in 1967. Then in 1971, it was changed to Chesapeake Television Corp. And then his son, David Smith, I want to say, it's a pretty generic name, took over the company and to take on more of a prominent role. Did a bunch of things, and one of them included changing the name to Sinclair Broadcast Group, homage to his father's middle name, wherever he's from. Maybe that's his official surname. It is the second largest broadcast group behind Next Gen Star. I found this in the user agreements. This one's kind of funny. So in case you guys are wondering why you get blacked out if you're watching a game in Chicago and you have a Bally Sports account for all the Red Wings games, it's because when you create an account on your cell phone, laptop, or other streaming device, it tracks the IP address that you use to create the account and establishes a 50-mile radius that is what is called your home territory. So if you exist in the 50-mile radius, you're going to get all of the local broadcasts that are included under Bally Sports. But there's this thing called couch rights. So 30 days after your initial subscription, if you want to, so let's say, watch the, I forget who's under the Bally Sports Network. I'm going to go ahead and say maybe the Arizona Coyotes from Detroit. You're allowed to watch that for 30 days within your subscription. And in fact, it gets activated as soon as you try and access a region that's outside of your territory. So I thought that was kind of funny. Call it couch rights. There's a whole bunch of shit there in the user agreements that we don't need to get into. What do I got next here? Also, here are the broadcasting schedule. The ones in gray are a part of the Bally Sports Detroit Extra, and the ones in red are normal Bally Sports Detroit. They open the season October 14th versus Montreal. Let's see, the most exciting game in the month of October is going to be the game against the Bruins and the Wild on the 27th and 29th. And they cap out the season in April against the Tampa Bay Lightning. So it's going to be an exciting year. Like I said, all the games in... let's take a look at this. I haven't really... I don't know which games are home and which ones are away. It isn't marked. You got pretty packed November. November appears to be their busiest month. They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 games in 30 days. So they're basically going to be playing every other day in November, coming off February, where they're only playing 2, 6, 9, 10 games. So that's like 33% more games, actually 50% more games. So November's going to be the toughest month, clearly. I'm excited for hockey to get started. I'm in school, folks, so do I have anything after this? I'm in school, folks, right now, and I got 10 weeks of 5 classes every week, so I'm thinking maybe Tuesdays and Thursdays are the days when I'll make video if I can. Mike, thank you for going into the notifications and inquiring about that. This has been fun. We'll catch you guys later. Cheers.